Well, I think the trip was a big success because we put together, I think, the right combination of people. We had people from the private sector, from the Cleveland area, from the academic sector, and from the county, and as well as business support groups like Team Neo and Bioenterprise. So we had a great group here. We found that we had a lot in common with the folks we met with in Israel from both the private sector and from the public sector there. The strategies that they have used, which have been so successful in Israel, we think many of them are applicable here. So we learned a lot that I think will help us implement those things in the United States. And we also made some very important business connections. And I think in the next week or two, this interview is taking place on April 2nd. I think within the next couple weeks, we'll be able to announce some real tangible agreements between some of the private sector companies that we met with and folks in the Cleveland area that will create jobs and economic opportunity here. So all the way around, it was I think it was a success. Yeah. Well, what you've had is, because of Israel's incredible economic growth, you have countries and cities all across the world that are trying to get into the Israeli market, and they're trying to figure out how can they partner with this this burgeoning entrepreneurial class that's coming out of Israel. And some of them can't do it, to be honest with you, because they can't get a foot in the door there. They don't have the relationships that we do, because organizations like the Jewish Federation have a relationship with the State of Israel that goes back from its founding in 1948 and even before that. And that was a real advantage to us. So there were cultural aspects of this trip which were important and meaningful, but we couldn't have had the access that we had to high-level people in corporations there, in startups, and in academia, like the Technion, which is their version of MIT, or in the Prime Minister's office, for that matter, or the Finance Minister's office, if we hadn't had the relationship that the Cleveland area has traditionally had. So the Jewish Federation really performed a service to the Cuyahoga County community as a whole.